Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome, and this is Cynde Meyer, and it is my pleasure to bring the Spirit Seeker Hour to you each and every week on Thursdays. And excuse me, for those of you that are not familiar with Spirit Seeker, we have been published as a magazine since, it's over 21 years now. And we've been online since 1998, and the print magazine, it's a limited print magazine that is available in the Midwest. It's in St. Louis, Chicago, and Kansas City, and then we additionally ship to conferences all over the U.S. and some shops in Florida. So that's our story. We started off hosting holistic conferences and did 28 conferences until we decided that really our purpose was to support other conferences. So we now support conferences all over the U.S. and feel honored to do that, and we meet the most amazing people. So we are read online, unless, as I said, you're in the Midwest, and all you have to do is go to www.spiritseeker.com, and there you will find us each and every month. But what makes it easier is if you join our email list, and you can easily do that by sending an email to info@spiritseeker.com, and then we will kindly add you to our email list. Just say, please add me to your list. And then you'll hear about who the radio show guests are, all the different offerings that are going on throughout the U.S., and in addition, you'll be eligible for drawings for books and CDs and DVDs. So it's kind of a win-win, and so that's the story. Okay, so we have the weekly email newsletter, the weekly radio show, and the magazine. And I do not see that my guest has called in yet, so I'm going to just chat for a couple of seconds until she gets here. I'm Cynde Meyer. I am the publisher of the magazine, and okay, I'm going to type and talk at the same time. Okay. So I am a life coach. I'm a spiritual intuitive. I do readings for people all over the world and coaching when people want to do additional work after that. I'm a feng shui consultant and energy healer. So I work and do remote feng shui consultations. I work with a lot of realtors nationwide, and I am a realtor in the Midwest. I wear a lot of different hats, but they all dovetail together. And you can always reach me at info@spiritseeker.com. So that's what I do. I publish this magazine, and then I play in people's houses, creating beauty and helping them find the perfect house that they want, or if they want to sell their house, how to totally get that ready, and do that. So it's just quite fun, and that's no 2 days are the same. No 2 days are ever the same. It's just fascinating, and. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Elizabeth before she gets here. I'm just going to tell you about her. I just am not sure what has happened. I think what I'm going to do is hang up and call back in. So there's going to be a disappearance, and then I'll be right back. Hey, it is Cynde Meyer again, and I'm sorry for that pause, but we have a guest that's missing, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her, even though she's not here, and then I'm going to share some information about 2018 with you if she's not here by then. Okay, so Elizabeth Summers is a regular monthly writer for Spirit Seeker magazine and many other magazines throughout the country. She's a professional numerologist. Her passion is seeing the world through numbers, and she's just quite gifted with it. She translates vibrational behaviors of numbers found in your birth name, your birth date, so many things, like your birth month, your birth date, the birth year, I don't know, all kinds of things. She's really gifted with it. She also offers psychological as well as spiritual interpretation of numbers. So if you're thinking about changing the name of your business or if you're thinking about just changing your name or choosing a different pen name or something, she's excellent with analyzing your current name if that's what you want. Or if you have 2 or 3 names for a business, she would be, that's one of her gifts, is to guide you in which name selection for your business. Numerologists, I've studied with numerology for so many years, came to it in I think the first time in the 70s and then early 80s, and then have encountered a number of fabulous numerologists along the way. So one of my first ones that I remember, though, was at the Edgar Cayce Institute in Virginia Beach. And this guy kept saying to me, he offered free readings one night when we were all there, and he said, this just doesn't match up. Are you sure that this is the correct information? And so what's interesting is I said, of course, yes, and then I realized I had been adopted by my stepfather. And so when I was adopted by him, I was quite young, my name changed. So therefore, my numbers changed. So he did the reading based on the birth name that I was given, and then he says, okay, this totally makes sense. I've never forgotten that. And I've had other just helpers, and Elizabeth did my chart, I think it was almost 3 years ago, and I used her information throughout the whole year, and it was extremely, extremely helpful. So she is also trained in the tarot cards and in the Hebrew Kabbalah. And she's got a background in teaching business, numerology, neurolinguistics, professional writing, lecturing, and counseling. And as I mentioned, she is a monthly writer for Spirit Seeker magazine. So you can find out more information at her website, which is www.elizabethsummers.com, and that's ELIZABETHSUMMERS.com. Okay, so I think we are having some kind of technical difficulties because Elizabeth is saying she's trying to call in, and it's not letting her call in. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold while I go. I'm going to be talking to technicians now. Oh, this is terrible, but it happens. Okay. I wish I had some music to play, but I have to fully focus on this. I'll be back.
Asking Uncle was raped and murdered last night.
Hello?
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 Hello? Who's this?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, this is Cynde Meyer.
Hi. Hi, Cindy.
Is this Cat Chemist?
Hello?
Hello, this is Cindy.
Hi, this is Lynn.
Oh, hi. Okay, right now I am having trouble with my radio show, and I'm trying to get back on the air.
Okay.
Is this okay?
I guess they unmuted me. I guess I was
okay,
unmuted.
so here's the deal. What is? Okay, are
yes.
you area code? Okay, let me see what you are.
865. I'm 865.
Oh, my God. I'm going back on the air. Can you? Okay, I'll be back.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm not sure if the listeners overall can hear me. This is Cynde Meyer, and there have been a few problems with with everything tonight, but I'm going to see if I can bring Elizabeth on. So here we go. Elizabeth, are you there? Elizabeth?
Hi, this is a caller.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're at 330? Okay, let me take you off. Never have we had this problem. Okay, I see.
Hello?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello?
Elizabeth? Hi, is this Elizabeth by chance?
No.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so listeners, I'm going to message Elizabeth back and tell her to call in again. There has been nothing but trouble on this radio show again. Okay, tonight, call now, please. Okay, so I apologize. This show is on Blog Talk's platform, and there was a problem, obviously, with their call-in. So Elizabeth's trying to call in. It showed absolutely no one on the switchboard. Now I can see all kinds of you on the switchboard. So I want to thank you for being here. And Elizabeth will be here soon, and then we'll just keep going. So I just messaged her, and hopefully she'll get that right away. I'm also going to text her. Okay, so you heard a little bit of the information about Elizabeth when I was talking a few minutes ago, but just give me one more second and I'll be right back.
All right, I'm going to call in again. Okay, bye.
I pulled the chains and I went back to the bar. That's very convenient. I didn't kill Ashley. Are you guys crazy? I have nothing to do with this. As of now, who is our main suspect? Sean or Zach? Now?
Or an unknown. I've been searching through the actually social media. It's got a lot of male followers.
Okay, so let's...
Please leave your message for... Okay.
Elizabeth Summers.
Hi, Elizabeth. It's Cynde Meyer. Call in, please. Okay, hopefully she will get that message and call in. Okay, so I have everyone muted now, finally. So this was what happened. There was no switchboard. There was no one calling in. I'm like, geez, this is very unusual because whenever Elizabeth is my guest, there's all kinds of people. And so I came out of the studio, called back in, came back in, still no one. And we're able to live chat with technical support, but nothing was working. So here we are, and I'm going to see if I can extend the show. But when Elizabeth gets here, it'll be perfect and divine. Let me see. I just heard from her again. Okay, I'm calling in from, 303. Let's see if she's on here now. 303. Okay, she is here. So 1 second. Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh, girl!
Yay! Yes, I don't know if you could hear any of this, but there was nothing on the switchboard, absolutely nothing. So that's why I was like, where's my Elizabeth? You know, and then when I'm trying to get technical support, still nothing working. So I went off, called back in, and then all of a sudden everything's working and everyone's on live. I'm trying to mute people. It was crazy. But at any rate, here you are. Thank you for being my guest. And
I
already
be breaking out in hives right now.
Ah,
So praise the Lord. You are doing
okay,
good.
so here we are. So Elizabeth, I could tell them all about you. I mean, and I already did. For those many of you, I don't know if you could hear me, but do you want me to do your a full introduction, or do you want to just jump in and tell us about you?
Oh no, let's do it to it. I mean, enough already. Ah!
Okay, let's go, because we're in 2018 and it's a different year. So tell us about it. Tell us what's in store and any advice you can offer. We're so grateful.
Well, the thing of it is, first of all, thank you. Oh, girly girl.
Oh, you're welcome.
We've been in 19 minutes into our visit, and we're just trying to get these electronics going, which is so 11-2. I mean, 11-2 is all about computers, electronics, what have you. So 2018, first of all, I'm Elizabeth Summers. I'm an esoteric numerologist. I go deeper into people's life issues than just the basics that you get on the computer. And bless the computer people. We bless them. And so to answer your question, and we're just coming out of the final phase of a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, which I cannot tell you how many of my clients have had, and me included, computer issues, radio issues, whatever. It's a mess. It's okay. It's okay, though. What it does is it teaches us patience. And so here we are in 2018, and 2018 by many of the astrologers is in the work that I do numerologically. It's not just 1 to 9. 1 through 8 is what I use. I go deeper into the tarot, into the astrology when I do readings for my clients. And so the thing is with 2018 that many astrologers call it the year of transformation. Now, when I added the month, day, and year of birth, which is a 9-year cycle for the United States, when I added that formula into the United States, indeed, it does call for transformation. Now, as I shared with you, I really don't want to get into politics in our visit, and we have just a little brief visit tonight. But I am saying that 2018 adds to the number 11. And the number 11 adds to the number 2. And when souls that are listening to our broadcast now, when they will be kind enough to read my column in your computer, on your internet that you do, the magical world of, I do a whole 800 words of talking about the number 2 and the number 11. And so this is going to be a fidgety year. That's the best I could say is like fidgety. So, talk to me here, Cynde. Thanks for having me on your show. We always have fun, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I entered this year just, bam, like being transported because I was in Italy, France, and Spain, traveling with my son who turned 20 while we were there. And
so
we didn't come.
Girl.
I know.
Wow.
And we returned like the 22nd or 23rd, and then it was just like, boom. And then there we were on the 1st with that full moon, a full moon in Cancer, and I'm a Cancer, on the first day of January in Capricorn. And like we had all that light, and then we have another once in a blue moon on the 31st. So it's like we have all this light, and I just feel lighter. I think that's part of this year. It must be because even though we have some heavy stuff, happening energetically, globally, it's like personally, it just feels to me like we have, it's probably partly because of the 1 month, because I read your article reread it actually before I came on the air, and you addressed a lot of the one energy for January, of course, in your article, and so I loved how you phrased the one as like a reset. We're starting a new year, and it's like we get to start all over. So every time we write that one, it's like starting all over. So that's how I feel. I feel lighter. I feel like it's a new year of possibility, and
Well, that is what it is in general. Now, when I do readings for clients, not everyone is in a 1 year. Some of them are a little other. We go in 9-year cycles. And the 9-year cycles, every year, is like 9 kids, has their own themes, their own issues. And so it is important, and this is what I do for people, the readings that I do for them, their 2018 predictions. Okay, what year are you in? Now, here's the thing, Cynde, and you know this because you've had readings with me, is that on the internet, okay, fine, everybody's in a 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever year. But I am a spiritual numerologist. My work's different in that the transit of the soul, where is the soul in its 9-year cycle, which can begin in May or June or July or March or whatever. It doesn't go by January to December. I will say that souls who have early birthdays, and I just sent out, it's on my website, people who have early birthdays, January to maybe April, but no later than that. They're kind of in a wiggle wobble as far as the ancient formulas go. You are in this year, but you kind of have a little donkey's tail still in the other, in the back, whatever. But it's important for listeners to know that the soul in the work that I do, the soul is in a journey. And it goes from the month that the soul chooses to be born in, the month of that time, to the month of the following year. That is the soul's journey. And when I do the work that I do and the readings that I do, I give them definitive, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this, month to month to month, as themes and issues for their soul's journey within a year. So yes, generally speaking, and everybody in the universe, whatever, 2018 adds down to an 11, which adds to a 2. And it's about the number 2 in general for everybody, Cynde. It's about fine, setting boundaries, about negotiating, about male things. The 11 part is tricky. I will tell you that almost all of the inquisitiveness connected to my YouTube videos and to my other radio shows and whatever. Everyone, the highest number of requests has to do with that, a number 11 too. And so, with your permission, can we just chat about the number 11 too?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The number 11, anyone, and it shows up. And here's the cool thing that people need to understand that differentiates the work that I do in the readings that I do versus the platitudes that are on the internet, and bless all those numerologists, is that there's more to you. I want everyone who's listening to think of themselves as a puzzle and pieces of a puzzle. And so there are formulas in spiritual numerology, which is what I do, that tells you, in this piece of your puzzle, what are you about? That piece of puzzle, what are you about? Piece of puzzle. It's not some flat. It's, like in the ancient days of Christopher Columbus that thought the world was flat. I don't think so. We're not flat. And so the number 11, too, is powerful. But I tell you, Cynde, it's pretty tricky. I mean, it is tricky. 2018, when we add all those numbers together, add to the number 2, which is about negotiating, which is about every number has a positive and negative. It's about the victim. It's about playing the victim in the negative. It's about setting boundaries. It's ruled by the moon. The number 2 is the moon. Astrologically, and the work that I do combines tarot, ancient tarot, astrology, numerology, as you know. Well, the number 11 is like kid that's on that OCD type of thing. I mean, it's really hyperactive. And wherever that number 11, if it does, appears in the 4 pages of charts that I do for my people, tells me, and especially when it comes from the vowels of a person's name. This says that the number 11 draws into a person's life old partnerships, good, bad, or indifferent, boy and girl, male and female. And it really can make people a little wackadoo. And so know that in general, and I cannot tell you, everybody wants to know about the number 11 too. Very charismatic and a lot of imagination. These are little souls that kind of sort of have trouble staying in their body. And they're very high strung. And now I'm talking on a personal level. I'm not talking, nationally, United States, Europe, whatever. Except, think of, plugging yourself into an electric socket. This is the number 11 too. And very creative and very energetic and they can be a little out of their body. And that's true. Because the number 11 too, Cynde, is connected to God. It's connected to the spirit world. It's connected to the astral plane. And these sweet souls who have this vibration showing in the charts that I do for them have difficulties in partnerships, male-female partnerships. And why is that? And if you look at the number 11, the number 1, and the number 1, that 1 says woman. That number 2 says male. Now, we're not talking about sex here. We're talking about energy. And anyone who has the number 11-2 showing in their chart, in the work that I do for them, will draw to themselves partners, good, bad, or indifferent, that they've been in partnership with in other incarnations. And they have to set their boundaries. They have to say no. They have to listen to their intuition. These folks are very psychic. But the bottom line is that anyone who has this vibration, and this kind of sort of goes to the United States too, and it goes to partnerships, and it goes to relationships and whatever. They have a little difficulty staying in their bodies. And
is it just that they're so intrigued by the outer dimensions, or is it just that it's an escapism?
Both. It's both.
Okay.
Because those souls, this is a higher vibration of the soul, and they're very kinetic, and they're very high strung, and they're very fidgety, but they're also very connected to those baby souls, those souls that are incarnating into our reality. When the Aquarian age started, somewhere mid-60s, Even astronomers do not know exactly when the transition went from what was into the age of Aquarius. But into the age of Aquarius, the Aquarian age rules the 11-2. And it rules internet. And it rules electronics. And this is when everything, electronic, internet, all of this information, all of these gizmos, which I don't know about you, but I just like it's like, okay, fine. Just give me a telephone, kind of sort of thing, whatever. I'm not bad. But that's so Aquarian. The Aquarian is the number 11 too. And so the Aquarians, the number 11 too, are very connected to spirit. They're very connected to that other kinetic fifth dimension, if you will, on a practical basis that is bringing in all these electronics. That's the Aquarian age. Now, on the other hand, the number 11 too is very spiritually connected. And bless their hearts, depending on where, it shows up in a chart that I do, in the readings that I do. They can have hell on earth in partnerships. I mean, girl, can we talk? That the number 11, 1 and 1, draws to themselves that they have been in partnership in other incarnations. It can be your mother, it can be your father, it can be your boyfriend, it can be the guy next door. It can be. That it's saying to that precious soul, you are not a victim. Set your boundaries. Is this what you think you deserve? And what is very interesting is the number 11 is connected to the letter K. The letter K. Now, when 11 adds down to the number 2, it is connected to the letter B, like in boy, and this is, it's like, okay, whatever you want, and they partnership, whatever. It's the lower vibration of the number 2. But the number 11 draws to itself inspiration, idealism. It draws to itself, it's very emotional. It can draw, if your name is like Kendra or Kim or Carrie, every person's first name tells me their attitude, their behaviors, their approach to life. And the first letter of every person's first name is called a cornerstone vibration. And it tells me their attitude that they are using in this lifetime to approach life this time. The first letter of every person's first name is huge. The middle name is your emotional baggage, and the last name is your spiritual baggage. Your birthday number that every soul chooses, their month, day, and year, birthday be born on. They choose their name that they want to have. The last name comes from their father's spiritual DNA. In the word, this is why esoteric numerology, which is what I do, is so much deeper into a person's life that helps them to understand what on earth did I put together? What is my blueprint? That's that natal reading. And I tell people, I say, I know I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
No, you're doing great. It's fascinating.
I think I'm on a roll. I really think I'm on a roll here. What can I say? And so the thing of it is, I tell my people, okay, we've all done this, if not as kids, as not. We have some sort of card table. And we up-dump a box of puzzle pieces. Like, God, how many of these little baby puzzle pieces dump on that card table?
Well, I can tell you I'm working on a 1,000-piece one right now, so I know what you're talking about.
There you go, 1,000. It's 1,000 pieces.
I know.
I know. And so that is your life. Your life is a bunch of pieces. And so the first thing that I ask my people to do, and when you are putting together a board puzzle, is you build the frame. You start building the frame of the puzzle. That is what is called a natal reading, a blueprint reading that I do. I think it's so important for people to understand because every soul puts together its own blueprint. It puts together, all right, this is what I want to work on in this lifetime. And, here's the thing that somewhat irritates me. I have had so many clients, Cynde, say to me, oh, I'm a 6, I'm a 4, I'm a 3, I'm a 2, I'm a whatever. And I say to them, where did you get that number? Well, I added my month, day, and year of birth on the internet, and this is what I do. It's like, forget it. No, that is not who you are. That is what your soul, when you add your month, day, and year of birth, your soul, our soul, because we're all souls, decided one more time, and I have no idea what the hey we were thinking about, one more time to do our spiritual growth through human experiences, because that's where the karma was created. When you add your month, day, and year of birth, your life path number, it's not who you are. It's what you are here to improve upon. Your soul says, this needs more work so I can move forward, so I can grow, so I can be happy, so I can be in peace, so I can learn this. Who a person really, 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 really is comes from all their vowels. The vowels in their name. Those are the God force. Those are the heavy hitters. And in the work that I do, I not only use the Pythagorean system all over the internet, the 2,600-year 1 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 9. Or tell how, okay, fine, whatever. But I go deeper, and I love this in the natal reading, blueprint reading, the Chaldean system. Those guys are 5,000 years old. In fact, the Chaldeans still are around over in Iran and Iraq, but the Chaldeans were prominent astrologers. They were heavy duty. They were deep. They didn't have computers. They just listened to God, talking to them, telling them what to do. Their codes are 1 through 8. And it's so, I have found over the, because doing this for 25, 26, 30 years, I've been in this work here, to tell a person who they really are. Now, how fabulous is that? How fabulous. This is who you are. This is what you're here to improve upon. But baby girl, baby boy, this is who you are. And enjoy this. And let's use your tools that you've come in here, that you've accumulated from other lifetimes to do. So back to the 11-2. Because my blueprint readings, my natal readings, all over my internet, you can do it, you can order it. But 11-2 is very psychic. And because they work at a higher, in many instances, energy level, they can get a little wackadoo. A little wackadoo. We're not
Okay,
going
so
to say
Elizabeth,
no.
yeah, I have a question. Okay, so you've worked with my numbers before. I was born on June 29th, so the 29th is an 11.
Yeah, 11 too. Yeah, back.
Okay,
Go ahead.
and then I was born in 1955, which reduces to 20, which reduces to 2.
Yeah.
So I've got this 11.
All right, go ahead. Your question is,
Okay,
what?
and then I have my birth month. So like I know that that all plays out, but for the listeners who are like, I just want to make sure that I understood everything you've said tonight. I think I do. So what you're doing is taking the birth date of a person, which is traditional numerology, but then the name, you're taking the name and you're looking at the values for the C, the Y, the N, the E, D, and E for my name, but you're looking at the vowels too. So I just didn't. I knew that was part of it, but I'd forgotten that part of it. So I was born Cynthia, and then I went to Cynde. So I shortened the vowels. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, or it just really is individual?
Well,
on how
so when I do the soul number, I look at all the vowels and the whole birth name that the soul chooses. Every soul chooses its name. It's okay to change the name over a course of a human lifetime. That becomes what is called an angle of development that adjusts the journey of the soul, how it wants to fulfill whatever it is that it has come here to fulfill, a little adjustment. The original birth name represents the tool by code. Numbers are codes. They have no power. They're a language to me that I'm interpreting, like Italian, German, whatever. Okay, fine. So when a soul, so you came into this lifetime, you chose, you somehow telepathically told whoever named you, this is the name that I want, Cynthia, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. And the last name is your spiritual suitcase coming in here. And
that's your father.
About. And that comes from your father's spiritual DNA, your father's vibrational DNA. Not necessarily your daddy, because sometimes daddy's just like, no, no, hell no. But it's a tribal name. It's a vibrational name. And that's okay. That's the last name. And that really always plays in life, but it really kicks in from 55 years of age onward. We go in 3 lanes of life, 1 to 30, 30 to 55. Generally speaking, when I do the chart side, can be very specific, but 1 to 30, 30 to 55, 55 to the rest of your life. Those are the 3 lanes of life. Okay, fine. So now when you change to Cynde, this is called an angle of development. You readjusted vibrationally the name that you are shouting out to the universe. You're saying, and I don't have it in front of me, baby girl. I'm telling you straight up. But what the cool thing is here is that Y is still in there. That Y, see Y, and that Y is the spiritual code, and that's the work that you do.
It's so interesting, Elizabeth. Do you remember the Cynde Meyers astrology that was in all the syndicated papers?
Yes, a long time ago.
Okay.
Cynde Meyers,
All right.
time.
All right. Well, yep. And so it would say if the horoscope for the day, but if today is your birthday, and being born on June 29th, it always would say you're going to have numerous name changes in your life. You're very, very spiritual, esoteric. You're drawn to the esoteric, mantic sciences. You get the gist. Every single year I'd read this, and so I was born Cynthia. Okay, first of all, my parents were going to name me Rebecca, and at the last minute they changed me to Cynthia. So Cynthia Diane Ryder. Then my stepfather adopted me, Cynthia Diane Pasha. I went from English to French. Then I got married later, and I went. It doesn't even matter, but yet it does. I went by Cynde Pasha for a long time. Then I went to Cynthia Pasha when I was making these changes, big changes in my life. I went back to Cynthia, or went to Cynthia Pasha. I'd never been it before, hardly. And so, and I remember my husband, who had dated me when I was Cynde, he was my boyfriend, and he would introduce me as his wife, as Cynthia. And he'd go, "This is my wife, Cynthia," because he was used to me as Cynde. So then later, after that divorce, I went to, Cynde, and I went to Meyer. Actually, I was still Cynthia Meyer, whatever. So the bottom line, and after my second divorce, I was like, what name do I want? And I didn't know you then, but I had a friend who was a numerologist, astrologer, and I called her, and I said, I go to court in the morning. I have to know what name to take. And I had a friend, we had both studied with her, all this stuff, but I just didn't trust what I came up with. And so I was like, God, and when you go, any of you listening, you're like, why does she need her name when you go to the divorce? You get a free name change. Whatever name they put on your divorce decree, you can change it, and it's free. You don't have to pay the filing fee. So here I am. Oh, my God, I want to be energy efficient and walk out with my new identity when I leave the courtroom tomorrow. And so Beatrix is like, it was my friend at the time. Well, she's still my friend, but she's like, oh my God, I've looked at all your names you've had. And she said, when you were Meyer before you were Cynthia, she goes, now you're Cynde Meyer. And she goes, you don't need your middle name. Just get rid of that. Just use your first name and last name, and that's going to take you from here on. So that's what I did. And it's like, my life has been very different. That's all I can say.
Totally. And I agree with that. Because as we mature and grow older, and for you, I don't know what age you were when you started shifting. Around the age of 42, astrologically, souls go through their midlife crisis, somewhere between 42 and 43. It's an astrological thing. It's not a numerological thing. And then from 46, at 46, all souls begin a new direction in their life. It's called a plateau of life. And then 55. See, the thing of it is, there are so many. Every soul is and I totally agree, Meyer has brought you spiritual transformation. And it has
I forgot I was Rheingold. I forgot that whole name, my second marriage. I forgot that whole deal. I went back to Meyer, which was my name from the first marriage. And my kids were like, can you take that name? I'm like, I can take whatever name I want.
Yeah, totally. And Meyer is good. And Meyer's good because the M of Meyer, which is your spiritual vibration you're sending to the universe, is saying spiritual transformation. Out with the old, whatever your old attitude, behaviors, and other incarnations was. Out, oh garbage. And the Y is helping you with your spiritual work that you're doing, and the work that you're right on target. You did good kind of thing.
Well, and I have to tell you, Spirit Seeker was birthed while I was pregnant with my youngest son at age 42, yes, and the assignment was given in Sedona, Arizona.
See?
I know, you're spot on, Elizabeth. I love your brilliant mind.
Well, it is just, it's so cool. And the thing of it is, if people will just, come to me and let me help them understand them, because this is ancient. This is not me making this up. This is 5,000-year-old, 2,000, and it's very deep. And the work that I do, a 6 is a 6 is a 6. 1 through 9, 6. Okay, the Pythagorean theory. Okay, fine. Whatever. But it is a 12, it is a 6, is it a 15, 6, 24, 6, 33, 6, whatever. All of that gives depth to that person. And both you and I, our goal is not about us, Cynde. It's about sharing what God has given us as knowledge to know in order to be of service, to help other people, to bring them peace and empowerment and understanding. The ancients knew what they were doing, and our job is to simply share with whomever we can with whatever vehicle. Yours is a radio show. Mine is a guest on your radio show. Mine is my newsletter. They can go to my website, ElizabethSummers.com. To see what I do, sign up for my newsletter. I'm on everything except except the New York Times. I mean, can we talk? Kind of thing.
Right.
And I write for you all the time, my newsletter.
Oh, my God, and you were on it this year. I was like, look at her cranking it out. I was like, thank you, Elizabeth. And, it's because, like, we had so many planets retrograde last year. Almost everything's direct right now. It's like, yay. Just yay.
Thank you, God. I think for just listening, myself personally, I got to own it. I don't know about you, but so many of my clients, 2017 was a toughie. And now we're starting to, take a breath and move forward. And God bless you, Cynde. You're doing the best that you can with all your publications, and I'm writing everything I know how. That I'm sending out the newsletters and to help people understand, because I'm a firm believer that if people understand who they are, what they're about, what am I here to do, my readings that are the transit readings that tell people about 2018 predictions. Here's what you do. It's not about me coming out from, although I am a medium, I do connect to the spirit world. What can I say? We kind of go woo-woo sometimes. But
we do, but that's okay.
Yeah, I am a medium, and we just have some visitors sometimes. But it's what we do. I love what I do. I'm so grateful for you for helping me do what I do.
Oh my God, you're brilliant, Elizabeth. You were like this bright light. I mean, listeners, seriously, Elizabeth did my numbers like two years ago, and she did everything. It was a gift. She gave that as a gift to me, and she has had many different spirit seeker readers, call her that have found their way to her through the articles and through the radio shows. And every single person, I get an email saying, "Oh my God, I just loved her. I love her. I love her. I love her." And as I mentioned, some people were on the air. I think if not, it all should be recorded. I said that if you're thinking about establishing a business, or if your life, is you're wanting to change something, you know how to guide them with everything. You know how to guide the vibration of the name, the business. You helped a real good friend of mine, and, you've helped out many others. And this is the work you do. This is your commitment. And I love reading your articles. And I'm so very grateful that you're part of Spirit Seeker. And, so tell us again, ElizabethSummers.com, but I know you have Facebook. Tell us all the ways to reach you.
Oh, my heavens, it just wears me out. So, yes, ElizabethSummers.com. Elizabeth Summers, like the season, Summer, S-U-M-M. Go there. On the menu bar, you'll see everything that I do. I am a medium. I do psychic intuitive work. Some people just have questions. We do psychic intuitive work, they call me. Of course, I do readings to help people understand this life path for them. Also, what's happening in 2018. I have a wonderful website called the Domestic Esoteric Goddess, which I put in all kinds of designer work, cooking and whatever. I also am someone who is very much involved in Voices in My Kitchen, where, in fact, I'm writing tomorrow another article to help people understand how souls are loved ones. I'm writing one about my husband who died many years ago. I'm a widow. He died many years ago, and I needed him to talk to me. To hello, just was crying in the kitchen. What can I say? Tell me that you're around. And he used his little ways, whatever. My job is to help people, as is yours. To help people with all of our tools.
So, listeners, we're almost off the air. I want to thank Elizabeth for being my guest. Now, here's the deal. This is now a podcast. The minute we finish here, this is now a recorded interview, and you can share the link with your friends and family. So remember, info@spiritseeker.com to join our email list, and you'll get our weekly radio show. You'll see who the guests are. You'll see when the magazine is online. You'll know other Mind, Body, Spirit events happening globally, and you will be eligible for drawings. However, the other thing is this. You can go to Blog Talk Radio /Cynde Meyer, CyndeMeyer, blogtalkradio.com /Cynde Meyer. Or you can go to Spirit Seeker and click to there. There's a link. The main thing is this. You will then find this link, and if you're already on our email list, you'll see it. We have social media, Spirit Seeker Magazine, Cynde Meyer Network is the other one. You can take that link and send it by email or share it even by Facebook to anyone and everyone. It's a virtual blog. You can listen to it. And most of our listens, not most, but a lot of our listens are after hours because, the brilliance that Elizabeth shared tonight, anyone's going to benefit from. So here you go. So it's lovely for us to be together, but continue the work. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you so much. And listeners, thank you so much. And I'm sorry about the problems at the beginning, but I'm so glad it all worked. And may 2018 be a good year for all of us and everyone. Namaste.
Blessings, everybody. Bye.
Bye.